Hello everyone, I'm DonTheCrown, and today I want to talk about gathering in Monster Hunter Wilds. Because we all know that gathering is something that, is eventually you're going to have to do, and it just feels so much better once you have a good set that just allows you to get lots of bonuses for gathering stuff. You just go around just picking up everything, just gathering tons of materials, and it just tends to be a lot of fun. So let's just hop right into the set here. Now, we're going to be using a mixture of armor that you get from monsters and some from trade. And these special trade armor gives us this 3-piece set here that says Forge's Luck increases the chance of finding rare gathering points. And this is just really important because we want more rare gathering points. The other stuff that we really want to make sure that we have in our set is Botanist 4. This pretty much gives us a ton of bang for our buck while we're gathering. We also want to get Geologist 3 because this gives us more from bone piles, more from mining, and more while gathering special items. We also want Intimidator so that small monsters leave us alone while we are running around and like mining or fishing. Especially fishing can be really annoying in some spots if the monsters are just non-stop poking you. I also went out and picked up Aquatic Oil Slit Mobility in case I need to be like moving through the oil fields there. Just don't want to get slowed down. Also, this is basically easy to get from one of the hidden sets. And then we are going to pick up Entomologist so that we can kill small insects and carve them every time, because there are quite a few armors out there that require those pieces. Outdoorsman just makes fishing, grilling, and transporting abilities a lot easier. So we can go out and steal Rathalos and Rathian eggs a lot easier, which is pretty fun. The whole set here doesn't really require very many decorations. I'm using a Botany Jewel, a Specimen Jewel for the Entomology, and a Ranger Jewel for the Outdoorsman, fishing, grilling kind of stuff. That's not super necessary. And you can get any of these really from going to the melding station and just throwing some gems at it, and you'll be able to, or jewels at it, you'll be able to get it. So the first piece here is the Sild hood, and this is just the hood that we see like all the members of Sild wearing, which is pretty nice. And this gives us Botanist 3 right off the bat, which I think is just kind of ridiculously OP. Just covers most of what we need in terms of Botanist. Number 2 is going to be the Conga Male. This gives us Intimidator 2, and pretty much like between gloves and chest, we want to cover Intimidator because we're going to cover everything else in the other slots. And so this gives us Intimidator 2, while the Rathalos gloves here give us Intimidator 1. So we get the total of 3 Intimidator from these two pieces together. Next up, we have the High Metal Coif. This is another trade-only piece of armor, and this gives us that Aquatic Oil Slit Mobility, which is just very nice. And then lastly, we have the Azu's Pants, which you see like a lot of people from Azu's kind of wearing this outfit, and this gives us Geologist 3. And that's just super great. For the rest of the stuff, I'm using the Marathon Charm just so that in case I'm climbing or something like that, it gives me a little more energy there. And I'm also using a bow as my secondary weapon, simply because if I want to kill ranged insects, they're kind of a little bit annoying. So in order to get some of these hidden pieces, you just need to go over here to Nata, and you need to go to either the material retrieval. If you get lucky, sometimes some of these people will bring you back some of these materials. Does not appear that I'm getting lucky right now. And then item trade over here is the other way to get it. And so we can see stuff in here, like Herbivore Carapace, for example, is one of the things that you do need in order to trade with people, or to be able to craft things. You can also go and get things like food and stuff. So this allows us to stock up tons of food materials. This guy here, Gaudy Gog, is the only person that trades in ancient wyvern coins, and he's also the only person I've seen so far that gives us some of the more rare materials for crafting. And so kind of be careful with your wyvern coins. I'm pretty much just waiting for him to have Sinister Cloth, because that's what you need for what I think is the best looking set. You can also trade 4 wyvern coins with some of these people. So Goblet Weed is like a thing that you can get here from the forest in like the underwater sections where you can go and pick up plants. So I'll trade 4 wyvern coins with those. You also just get things like all of the different food materials and stuff. Vespoid Shell, like this for example, is something you get off of insects, so don't trade for that. But pretty much any of these items here that have this little blue symbol in the top right hand corner while you're out gathering, that means that this is a tradable item with Nata. So you can kind of keep your eyes open for that. Now, if we're going to go look at these sets here real quick, or hair didn't load. That was strange. The silled armor set here, for example, does require silled cotton, which can be kind of a pain to get your hands on. But I think, getting this silled hat is definitely worth it. But some of these other things I think do look incredibly cool as well, like the Death Stench armor. It's pretty darn fashionable for sure. Also like the Azusa armor or the Kunafa armor, or even the silled stuff. All of this stuff just looks super duper great. For the Azuz pants, you're going to need Azuz tanned leather. For the silled set, you need silled cotton. And then the last thing is Drear Sight scraps for the metal set here. Let me see if you can find it. It's right down, I think. There's a whole bunch of stuff. This only comes from trading and gathering. You're going to get a lot of these different outfits. Yeah, so these high metal here, this is requiring Drear Sight scraps, which I believe comes from the people in the oil basin. And so just trading for them there does, you'll get them eventually. And so just putting all that set together is, not that bad. It didn't take me all that long to set up. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is doing the gathering at the right time of day. Because I've definitely seen a lot of people mess this whole process up. And so let's talk about it real quick. We have a tempered Archie. So this node here, the Windward Succulent, is kind of what we're looking for. So what we're going to do is I'm going to press over and look at filter icons, have it set up to only do gathering. And I can see that like right now there's 1, 2, 3, 4 Windward Succulents. And so right now gathering for these is not very great. And this is right now the season of the fallow, which just sucks. It doesn't really give you a lot of materials, at least not the growing materials. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to go rest. We're going to change the environment to plenty, and we're going to do the morning of the plenty. We're going to rest until this point. And then once we're done this, I'm actually going to hop back in my tent to empty my inventory, because you are going to need to empty your inventory because you're going to have so much stinking materials getting gathered up. This does take a little bit of time, and this does also reset all of the monsters across the entire world that you have. So if you're looking to farm for a particular monster, this is a good way to potentially just reset your entire world if you're not looking to play with others. I'm just going to go and use my gathering preloadout, which has basically nothing in it, so I have plenty of room for other stuff. And we're just going to go and see what do we have in terms of gatherables this morning. Well, we go here to Windward Succulent. We see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have about 11 of them right now. There's also sandpeppers, which is another rare tradable thing. And so there's about 4 of these right now. Also, if we check out the environmental overview, we can see that sometimes there's going to be outbreaks of better stuff like Windward Aloe Upsurge, which means that stuff is going to come out more. Great Windward Aloe emergence is going to make some of the rarer nodes available as well, which is pretty nice. And note also that resting does change the item trades that you have available, and so some of these trades will be very good. So this is a very good way to potentially cycle through and find a lot of the things that you want. And so like Windward Aloe for Kunafa cheese, stuff like this is just really quite great. And this is going to allow us to get all of the materials that we want from gathering or that we want from trading a lot faster. I'm just going to teleport out here and kind of show you what some of these nodes look like real quick. And yeah, I'm just going to grab some stuff. You can see here we have a ton of honey just right at the node. Now, this tent in particular does get attacked relatively frequently. Sometimes you might have to go to the pop-up camp manager and ask them to rebuild it for you, or you can just ride out to it manually yourself. We get tons of these Windward Succulents, and like even this one little section here has more Windward Succulents during the plenty than it did the entire map during the fallow. So you definitely want to be farming during the plenty as opposed to really, I think, any other time. I'm sure that there's going to be some absolute min-max like for some regions and some materials, but getting these like trade materials, I think that you definitely want to be going around during the plenty, at least in this region for sure. But definitely if there's any sort of video, any sort of information that we get, I will do an update video for this. Hopefully this video helped you out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'm going to put a written guide also in the description over on the Mobalytics website, so go and check that out as well. Thank you very much guys for being here. We'll see you again soon.